Howdy guys, so says the leader here. I apologize for my long hiatus, but I'm back with an excerpt reading from my Princess Luan and Wizard Havaria series. This is from the Fellowship of Light Dragon Warrior series. It's called Queen Mitzi. It basically tells the story of what Queen Mitzi did after she was reincarnated by Night Shroud. If you've read New Girls in Town, then you know what's going on. If you haven't, I suggest you go out and pick up a copy before reading this. Now let's read. This is a scene where Chimera is getting used to working with the other dragon warriors and sparring with Princess Luan. And let's read. In the meadow neighboring the Palace of Melania, Chimera was armed with a wooden bow staff as she sparred with Princess Luan, blocking the attacks her opponent launched with her own bow. Parrying Luan's thrust, Chimera then whirled around and attempted a sweep tackle on the princess's legs. But the dark-haired girl leaped into the air and struck Chimera in the shoulder. As Luan landed, Chimera protested, "Hey!" as she whirled around and attacked with her own staff, but being met with a block from Luan. This made Chimera wonder, Now how did she? But she had no time to finish her thought, because she was suddenly thrown to the grass as Luan slide tackled her with her staff. Chimera groaned in disorientation as Luan extended her hand toward her. However, Chimera merely shrugged it away and told her wanly, "Save it, I can get up myself." As she picked herself up, Chimera eyed the other four in the group. Murda, Galatea Winchester, Roxy Norrington, and Elise Masters, who had all just finished their sparring workouts. "I'd say you just got slept, Chimera," Elise teased. "Indeed," Luan agreed. "Chimera still has much to learn, as do all of us." "All of us?" Chimera asked with a wrinkled nose. "How can you learn anything, Luan? You're a mentor. You should know everything about the Fellowship of Light." Luan chuckled on that note. "Sometimes even a mentor can learn from his students." Chimera cast a lopsided grin at the princess. Ever since she'd come to the strange land of Melania, she never thought she'd make such fast friends as those who were part of the team known as the Dragon Warriors. After witnessing the capture of her closest friends as they were escaping from an enemy base during a mission, Chimera had procured the Dragon Shadow Cross, which opened a wormhole from her world into Melania, where she, quite literally, landed in their laps. After reawakening and regaining consciousness, Chimera had developed amnesia, but was having vivid dreams of the events before a sudden hyperspatial shift. As she brushed off some loose blades of grass from the sleeve of her gi, Chimera heard a voice from behind her, and it shouted, "Luan! Everyone!" As Chimera looked up, Queen Morgana, Luan's aunt and Roxy's mother, was racing toward them. Chimera smiled to herself as she remembered Roxy telling her about the new acting queen of Melania. Roxy's mother was a magical being called a Naturian, who possessed the ability to communicate with animals as well as enable them to speak like humans. And now, as Chimera approached the 6 younger females, along with Roxy's bloodhound R2, Chimera noticed that the elder woman was holding a rolled-up scroll, which those in Melania called the news scroll. "What's up, Mom?" Roxy asked, before R2 approached her with a loud bark, prompting her to kneel toward the grass as her dog leaped into her waiting arms with a welcome lick. "There's something you should know in the news scroll you should read," Morgana told them, handing the scroll to her niece. Luan unrolled the scroll and eyed the story on the front page, whose headline read in huge bold letters, "Alucard Industries to detonate Old Polinica Embassy." "What?" Luan exclaimed upon reading the headline. "Guys, listen to this," she began to read. Despite several petitions with numerous signatures, massive demonstrations, countless letters of complaint, and even a court order filed against her, Mitzi Zichter, president of Alacardi Industries, has refused the voice of the people, as well as that of the law, to cancel the detonation of the old Politica Embassy building. I can't believe it, Galatea exclaimed. Yeah, I know, Roxy agreed. The Politica Embassy is one of the oldest landmarks in the region's history. It gets worse, you guys, Luan warned. Listen to this. She continued reading. With many priceless sacred treasures within, Ms. Zichter has also been given the proposal of turning the embassy into a museum, but she declared that it would be too time-consuming, as well as not a real cash cow. As such, she intends on sending the salvaging crew to collect any valuables, claiming any findings are strictly the property of Alacardi Industries, and trespassers will be arrested on sight. That's disgusting, Murder declared. What gives Ms. Zichter the right to commit such cruelty? Apparently, she doesn't need anyone's permission to wreck other people's lives, at least declared. Exactly, Luan agreed. While we can't do anything to stop it, we can go witness it in Politica. What do you mean? Shamira asked. Luan eyed her aunt. Your Majesty, she addressed Morgana, prep a couple of the royal coaches. We're going on an outing. Understood, Morgana replied, and turned on her heel and headed back toward the palace. So as you can see, Mitzelena Zichter is trying to detonate the old Politica Embassy building and has refused the voice of the people to keep it intact. Let's continue. This is the scene where Shamira gets a vision of one of the charms of Armageddon that Nightshroud needs to resurrect himself. Let's read. Well, Mitzi mocked as she watched the scene of the crowd on the hill from her view screen. It seems I have an audience for the demise of the embassy. With a wave of her hand, Mitzi cut the scene of the embassy to an image of Sally, the puce-haired woman who stood with a few men wearing hard hats and blue uniforms. Sally, she confirmed, it's time. Start the fireworks in 5 seconds. On my mark. After a short pause, she declared, Mark! From the hilltop overlooking the Politica Embassy, Murda, Galatea, Roxy, Shamira, Elise, and R2 all looked along with the rest of the crowd as when they all suddenly heard detonation in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Another moment passed, and then a huge explosion shot through the embassy building. The dragon warriors winced at the faraway loud sound. Within 3 seconds, the building cascaded downward, imploding in a residue of dust, sand, and pebbles. After about 1 or 2 minutes, the dust settled, and as the dragon warriors looked again, they saw that all that was left of the embassy was a pile of stone debris mixed with glass. Well, guys, nothing to see, nothing more to see here, Elise said with a lowered gaze. Let's get back to the palace. The others nodded and turned to leave, but as Shamira began to follow them back to the coach, she suddenly cried out in pain upon feeling a sharp pain running through her temple. Shamira, are you okay? Galatea asked concernedly, as she saw the dark blue-haired girl clutching at her head with her hands. I don't know, Shamira moaned. Something seems to be calling me. Within moments, Shamira felt the world darken around her. After a moment, her vision and her focus returned, but she was no longer at the hill overlooking the Politica Embassy site. Now she seems to be inside an opulent room that appeared to be an office. She heard a soft hum from the left and turned in its direction, eyeing a soft purple glow emanating from an odd black mask, which rested on a cushion of velvet within a locked glass case. Another moment passed, and Shamira let out a scream as she was suddenly thrown backward by an explosion. She landed on the office floor with a grunt and moan in disorientation as she struggled back to her feet. She regained her bearings just in time to notice the roof was caving in around her. Then she realized, this is the inside of the political embassy, and I'm right in the midst of the explosion! Shamara began whimpering before the whimpers turned into a blood-curdling scream, and as she rolled out of range of the fallen debris, thunk! She suddenly fell onto the floor when she rolled out of bed. Huh? Shamara murmured, picking herself up from the floor and looking around. I'm back in the palace. But what was that I just saw? She took several different deep breaths to steady her heart as she sat back down on her bed. Was it a vision? She was still pondering what she'd seen when the door opened, causing her to jump with a scream, being met with a scream as a response from Queen Morgana. The screaming went back and forth between the twosome before Shamara exclaimed, Queen Morgana, it's just you! Morgana took a deep breath as she placed a hand over her heart. Then she chuckled as she teased, Next time, warn somebody when you're gonna flip out. Sorry, Shamara told her. But what happened? According to your friends, you blacked out and fainted into Galatea's arms, Morgana explained. Fainted? Shamara wondered. She thought back over the recent events. I don't remember fainting. All I remember is having one of my headaches and then ending up somewhere else. She sighed. The only problem is I don't even know who I am or where I come from. Yes, fainted, Morgana said suddenly, piercing Shamara's thoughts. I need to tell you, it was touch and go for about a half hour, but you finally regained consciousness. Where are the others? Shamara asked. Are they okay? They're fine, Morgana replied. They're upstairs in the Tower of Dragons. Upon uttering this, the queen instantly followed up with a squeak of, oops. Shamara narrowed her eyes on that note, because no one except her and her fellow dragon warriors, as well as Luan, knew about the renovated tower in the Palace of Melania, and asked, How do you know about the Tower of Dragons? Hesitantly, Morgana sighed as she approached Shamara's bed and sat down. How do you know about the Tower of Dragons? Shamara demanded again, her voice rising. Morgana sighed again. I need to be honest, she told Shamara. I know who you guys are. You know, you and the other girls. Shamara wrinkled her nose and asked, Huh? Morgana rose from the bed and leaned toward Shamara, whispering in her ear, I know you're a dragon warrior. Shamara gasped on that note. So as you can see, Shamara just had a vision regarding a strange black mask, and it could be one of the charms of Armageddon. So I hope you enjoyed this short little excerpt reading installment. If you like what you saw, please like, comment, share this video. Please subscribe if you like my content. And also, be sure to follow the links in the description so you can learn more about my book series. This is So Says the Leader, signing off. Peace out.